Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. That has to be one of the most exciting opening games in the history of the Premier League. That was outstanding. Some high-quality goals from both sides. Semenyo, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike, Chiesa. It was mental how good that game was. And ultimately, Arsenal, Man City, Guardiola, Arteta, even Chelsea, surely looking at that result, praying for a draw, praying for some drop points. Because ultimately, I feel this Premier League title race is starting early this season and it's big. And I feel Liverpool getting 3 points today was absolutely massive. And the way they did it would be a massive, massive threat to the rest of the Premier League. Because in the final 5-10 minutes, they showed intensity, they showed a level of emotion, they showed some strategic insight in terms of Arne Slot making the right substitutions at the right time, which completely paid off. And Liverpool have got 3 points, 4-2 win over Bournemouth. Make sure you subscribe, leave your comments down below. We're going to break down all the goals and where this leaves Liverpool so far, one game in. You can't learn too much about a side after one game, but there were 3 or 4 really interesting things I picked up on in the game. Firstly, we have to talk about the quality of Liverpool going forward in that first half. It felt inevitable that Liverpool would create some chances, score some goals. They felt a little bit defensively open at points. Semenyo had a big chance in the first half on his right foot, but it's Hugo Ekitike with a beautiful finish, a nice little bit of interplay between him and a couple of other Liverpool players, and he makes a little bit of space and he just tucks it under the keeper. Ekitike has got a brilliant finish on him. He reminds me a little bit of Nicolas Anelka, a little bit of Thierry Henry, that open the body and just tuck it under. You don't even have to hit a ball hard in football. Sometimes you can just roll it under the keeper with precision. And Ekitike already now on 2 goals in 2 appearances for Liverpool. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And Gakpo today obviously got his goal, but you can see why Ekitike is a number 9, a little bit more than Gakpo is, for example. He's got the height. He's got this kind of gangly but kind of powerful frame, very similar to Alexander Isak. And he gets the goal. It was a very, very good strike, very, very high quality. But we have to be honest and say Bournemouth could have scored first in the game. Bournemouth could have equalised in the first half. And ultimately, it was Cody Gakpo that made it 2-0, where I thought it was game over. It could have been 4-5-0. I think Liverpool were really purring at the start of the second half. And Cody Gakpo is just running through the Bournemouth defence, running alongside it almost, and he tucks it on his right foot. It's a very, very good finish. I thought actually the whole front line for Liverpool today, except for Wirtz, of course, basically getting their goal and looking really, really impressive. Well, Adi and Chiesa as well, obviously was a forward off the bench. So all the forward players for Liverpool scored today. Very, very impressive performance. But there were some defensive frailties. The first thing I'd say about Liverpool today, obviously missing Ryan Gravenberch. They missed the legs that he does provide off of the ball, because we felt that McAllister and Gravenberch were able to balance the workload throughout the last season in the Premier League. They were able to balance who was sort of man-marking a player in midfield, who was tracking runners. Today, Szoboszlai is always going to leave you a little bit defensively open. He's always going to go after the ball. He's always going to run forward and try and break the lines. He had a big, big role to play in the winning goal for Liverpool today in terms of Chiesa, and that was him operating on the right-hand side. That was him being close to the box where he wants to be. Being one of the two, I was actually surprised Curtis Jones didn't start the game. A little bit more control for me, a little bit better in the tackle than Szoboszlai as well. Maybe Szoboszlai is a bit more box office and more attacking, but I think you need, particularly when Gravenberch comes back, if anything happens to McAllister and Gravenberch, I think Liverpool will need to address it. Endo not quite trusted in that role. I think he ended up at right back today when Frimpong went off. Is there a question mark about Liverpool needing someone in that position? I've been saying it for a few years. I think the icing on the cake would be a defensive midfielder just to complement McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. But we saw it. We saw it on the left-hand side a lot today. Ultimately, Salah's not going to give you massive protection. Frimpong at points was isolated alongside the likes of David Brooks, who's been absolutely fantastic, an unsung hero for Bournemouth for quite some time. He's been at that club a long time. Obviously had health concerns as well. And he looked electric in this game. He was putting in dangerous ball after dangerous ball. And he puts one into Semenyo, who tucks it under Alisson very, very well. Semenyo, absolutely outstanding. I can't believe no one came in for him. Fair play to Bournemouth for giving him a big, ambitious contract. He'll keep them up this season. Maybe he goes next summer. But he was absolutely outstanding. And then we have to talk about the goal that was, it was just incredible. From the edge of the Liverpool box that they were attacking, Bournemouth pick up the ball, Semenyo picks up the ball, it must be a 65-yard run. I mean, it's absolutely outstanding how far he's run with it. It's Diego Maradona stuff. It really is. And he actually could give the ball to Tavernier. He doesn't choose to. He gets a little bit lucky on his left foot, deflected past Alisson. But a strike is of such power, of such accuracy, that the deflection really complements it. It makes the strike look better, if anything. It's not an unlucky strike from Liverpool's perspective. But from that moment on, you actually think Bournemouth could get a winner. Evan Nilsson has a chance on his head as well. Defensively speaking, they looked at all sorts today. I think both substitutes getting taken off is symbolic. That doesn't really happen in a big game like this, I'd say, particularly at home when you're coasting. Kerkez and Frimpong went off today. Kerkez got found out positionally behind him a lot. Frimpong, I don't know if he got exposed in the same way Kerkez did. I just think he was 5 yards away from the action, it felt at points. He was just a touch away from it. And you can be Maldini, you can be Roberto Carlos, you can be Cafu. If you don't have midfield protection ahead of you, if you don't have maybe more of a system where Liverpool keep a little bit more of the ball and don't expose themselves to turnovers in the same way, then counter-attacks as well in the same way, then Frimpong, it doesn't matter if Frimpong is new to the Premier League or not, you're going to get more protection. Jordan Henderson used to protect Trent in a big way. Frimpong had none of that today. Let's be completely real. So Szoboszlai and Salah are not going to protect you defensively. It doesn't matter today. Liverpool have got the win. But in big moments, Arne Slot is going to have to figure out what happens. Does he revert to an extra centre-back and do 3-4-3 and put Salah a little bit narrower alongside Ekitike? I don't know about the transfer business. Leone's coming in. Gahey as well, maybe. Maybe you have more protective cover with Frimpong acting as a right wing back. How high he was against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield, that might be the future. But they looked a touch exposed. Certainly Kerkez as well. It's a big moment, Anfield, against your former club. I'm sure he'll settle in. And he had some good spark sort of moments as well, 100%. But ultimately, Frimpong and Kerkez taken off, and actually a lot of the action coming from the left-hand side. We have to talk about the winning goal from Liverpool. The ball's hoisted up into the box. And if you actually take a look at the goal, Szoboszlai takes almost like a back heel touch. It's an unbelievable bit of skill. Keeps it in. Salah gets the ball, whips it into the box. And it's the Bournemouth player, Ben Winter. Oh, it's Ben Winterburn, Nigel Winterburn's son, who actually makes a bit of a hash of the clearance, and it doesn't go far enough. Chiesa with a slice volley. It is a volley of the highest caliber. It's an outstanding strike. It really is. Right past the keeper. Nothing Petrovic could do. Could Petrovic have done better earlier in the phase? Potentially. But ultimately, Chiesa scored what is maybe the most important goal for his Liverpool career. Is it the kind of goal that he is saying to Arne Slot, goodbye, that's my parting gift, or give me another 12 months? World Cup coming around the corner. I don't want to go to a club at a lesser level than Liverpool. I don't want to go to Atalanta, with all due respect, or Roma, or wherever. I want to stay at Liverpool and prove myself. And that means Liverpool have to spend 150 million quid on it. Is that a discussion? Maybe that's a discussion for a different video. Because if Chiesa can stay fit alongside Salah, Gakpo, Wirtz, Ekitike, it's not as sexy as Isak. But he's a very effective footballer, Chiesa, particularly from the bench. No one really knows what he's like in the Premier League. He didn't play much last season. It's a big moment, and maybe he stays and affects things for Liverpool this season. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about that. And then, of course, Mohamed Salah gets his customary goal. Beautiful finish on his right foot as well, which you don't really see it a lot from Salah. He's always scored headers, and he's scored all parts of his body. He's scored goals. But that kind of the right foot, tucking in on his right foot, is a very good finish. It really is. And 4-2 complements Liverpool in a big way. Going forward, they're going to blow sides out of the water. That's how they might have to win the Premier League. It reminds me a little bit of maybe Pellegrini with Mancini. That kind of let's just outscore sides. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need 100 points. And that's maybe how Liverpool can win the Premier League this season. Is it enough to win the Champions League? Do they need more in the transfer market? I'd say they look very strong going forward. They need a touch more somewhere in that side. Maybe it's bringing Endo into the fold a little bit more. Whatever that looks like, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very soon.